Hey Chris, let me start by asking, what is it exactly you do in Second Life?
I make trees, I make plants, I make fences,
Wait a minute, why on earth do you make trees?
I make trees because I can. My name in Second Life is Kriss Lehmann. My avatar, he's this old Asian gardener type of guy, like an old natural sage. Doesn't wear any kind of fancy clothes. He's just got these wooden sandals and a cane. And he has this little squirrel friend who rides around on top of his head. I've got trees, I've got land textures, I've got this sad little holiday tree made of mesh. And because I really wanted to bring something dynamic into Second Life, I made the dragonflies that move around and land. I use mostly Maya and try to model it organically. Over the years, my style has definitely changed. Just as I learned more about how to do something that I've always painted in Photoshop, but now I can model it instead. I think it's a lot similar to, say, bonsai. You're taking a natural object, but you're trying to organize it in an artistic way. I grew up on the outskirts of a national forest. That's some of the best memories of growing up around trees and just the sounds of nature and everything. Actually, the oldest section of Straylight is the first forest that I built. It's still what I think of when I get homesick, the beams of light and everything. In Second Life, anything that you design and create, you can also sell. Since 2008, Second Life has been the only job I've had. I went from 60-hour weeks at my desk job to sometimes literally 20 hours a day in Second Life, but it's almost never been too overpowering. It's a lot more personal. It's not somebody writing me an email, it's somebody standing there with their avatar in front of me, and I know behind that person is the woman I'm talking to. Second Life is really strong with emotional bandwidth. Your brain doesn't really tell the difference between what happens in your screen and what happens around you. The people you meet, the places you go, those actually make real connections. The summer of 2007, I ran into my wife-to-be. We were having little parties, and Shai was there. She was being really funny, and I pulled up her profile picture, and she was beautiful. Immediately, I just turn on the charm. At one point, I decided to make her a tree. Eventually, all those trees I was making ate up all the prim count I had on my entire sim. So I started making trees in order to flirt with Shai, and eventually it took over everything I had.
And you're a better man for it, Chris. So, what's coming up in the future? Any plans?
I have too many plans. I want to redesign my sim, which means I need to make probably 1,000 new landscaping items just so I can landscape the new sim in the new store. Shai and I are working on a collaborative idea that we started years ago and only now have realized that we can do it. It's almost everything we've been working for the entire time. In the end, the people who are here the longest, that have the sense of pride in what they're doing, are the ones who are actually putting in their own effort, building this kind of virtual world.